From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
A string of car thefts in a quiet neighborhood in Belgrade. I'm Cody Boyer in Gallatin County. The latest on the investigation, which has been caught on camera.
And a new lawsuit aims to put Montana's new anti-abortion law on hold. Who is suing and why, the group says the law is flawed and unfair. Plus, there's a big recall of baby lounger pillows after 8 infants die. What you need to know to keep your child and family safe, also just ahead. Well, it is, oh my gosh, what a beautiful shot. 6:30 on this Friday. Chet Lehman, Matt Elwell with you here, working our way through September 24th, the first Friday of fall.
I hate it when you do that. You know that,
We're heading
right?
into the first weekend of fall, too.
We are, and it's going to be a beautiful weekend. I don't mind that. That's going to be nice. Temperatures this morning, the light jackets on the way out the door, 31 degrees in Butte, 36 in Belgrade. Is it Friday? Did you say that?
Finally, finally. It's only been 10 days since the last Friday.
It's amazing how slowly that week goes sometimes. Temperatures should be fairly comfortable, but we always have fun, and that makes time fly.
Yes.
Temperatures right into the low 70s for the afternoon today. Clear skies. We're going to break down what you can expect for that beautiful weekend forecast in just a few minutes.
Those regular meetings after the fun, though, sometimes they're not so much fun.
Kind of drag on.
There is a little bit of that, 6:31, our top story this half hour. Investigators in Belgrade say a rash of crimes have been reported through several neighborhoods, all targeting vehicles and everything inside them. Dan's Cody Boyer explores the issue in the latest case.
Well, it's something that many of us do and don't do. Lock our car doors. Well, for many, including those living here in the Prescott Ranch area north of Belgrade, it comes down to how long they've lived in their community and how safe and comfortable they feel. And then events like last weekend happen. A thief in a neighborhood like this one checking cars and stealing things inside. And now police here in Belgrade say they have this one caught on camera.
It's really, really sad because people have no respect.
Taking whatever isn't bolted down. That's how longtime residents of Belgrade subdivisions like Elaine Newhouse describe a trend that isn't exactly new, but growing in number.
Montana is not like it used to be when I was raised as a child. I don't understand it. It's just become worse and worse and worse.
The post from the Belgrade Police Department is straightforward. A person, after dark, appearing to try to break into a pickup truck in the Prescott Ranch neighborhood just north of town near Jackrabbit Lane. Police describe the person as wearing a light-colored mask, stocking cap, gloves, a ski or rain jacket with dark-colored pants and shoes. And similar crimes have been reported in the area before. Just south of there, 2 years ago, we reported when a group stole a $600 saw off of someone's front porch. As for Elaine, she too has been targeted.
We got up the next morning, someone had left the door open and someone had gone through the glove box. There was nothing in it. And they had the guts to come into our yard at night.
Belgrade police say if you have anything that could help them find out who has been committing them, call 406-388-4262. Elaine says thanks to the usage of doorbell cameras, which all of her neighbors now have, she hopes the thefts dwindle.
Just be cautious. I mean, don't leave things in your car. It just can't keep going, and we've got to get at the root of what is causing this problem and why these people are doing it.
In Belgrade, Cody Boyer, MTN News.
Whether or not 3 of Montana's 4 new abortion laws will go into effect next week as planned hangs in the balance. On Victoria Hill, Yellowstone County District Court Judge Gregory Todd heard arguments from the state and Planned Parenthood Thursday morning. Judge Todd's ruling will determine if there will be a preliminary injunction on the 3 laws. They're set to go into effect on Friday, October 1st, which is the same day Judge Todd said he will issue his decision. A preliminary injunction would essentially put a pause on the laws until the lawsuit filed by Planned Parenthood is settled. The nonprofit claims House Bills 136, 171, and 140 would result in immediate and irreparable harm.
Beginning October 1st, women seeking pre-viability abortions after 20 weeks or later will be categorically barred from doing so. Other women will have their right to obtain abortions earlier in pregnancy unduly infringed and will be stigmatized if they decide to seek such care.
Judge Todd voiced a concern about people turning to unsafe abortion methods to avoid punishment.
The women want the abortion, but it's not going to be able to be performed by some of the medical practitioners.
But the state responded by saying each law would have some flexibility.
All of these new requirements can be waived if, in the judgment of the medical provider, there are serious risks to the mother that need to be immediately rectified through an abortion.
Up next, Judge Todd asked both parties to come up with a timetable based on possible outcomes to resolve the lawsuit by the end of the year. In Billings, Victoria Hill, MTN News.
6:35 now. Gallatin County Health Department says 3 more people are dead in the county due to COVID-19 complications. One was a man in his 70s, the other a woman in her 80s, both in the hospital. The third was a man in his 80s at an assisted living facility. All 3 deaths took place in August. That puts the county at 72 people who have died. Butte Silver Bow Health Department also announcing 3 additional COVID deaths. In Gallatin County, the health department says 60% of residents now are fully vaccinated. For Park County, it's 56%. Beaverhead County, 53%. Madison County, 45%. And Butte Silver Bow leads our viewing area with 63% fully vaccinated. Statewide, only Missoula County beats that, and they're at 64%. COVID-19 variants are becoming more contagious. That's according to a new study by researchers at the University of Maryland. They found that variants are becoming more airborne, which means they can spread better. Study participants who were infected with the Alpha variant expelled more of the virus when they exhaled. Researchers say masks were able to cut down the spread of the virus by a half. Well, how do we grieve the loss of hundreds of thousands of Americans to COVID-19? One artist decided to try to capture that grief with a major undertaking now unfolding in the nation's capital. Maya Rodriguez takes us behind the scenes to show us how it all came together.
One by one,
she made all who knew her feel safe and loved.
Each small flag tells a story.
The best big brother a little sis could ever want.
More than 660,000 of them unfurling into a sea of white.
She wanted to grow up and be a mommy and was a mother to everyone she met.
One for each life lost in America to COVID-19.
He died the day after Father's Day.
Spreading out on the National Mall in Washington, D.C., this display of pandemic loss is called In America, Remember.
This is a national tragedy.
Artist Suzanne Brennan-Furstenberg created the installation.
I was upset because people didn't seem to realize the amount of deaths that were happening. And so I wanted, as a visual artist, to make it indeed visual.
We met up with Suzanne at her artist studio in the days leading up to the memorial's installation.
We have section markers that we have to organize. We have, most importantly, flags to write. People are sending us flag dedications from all across the country.
Inside the studio, volunteers carefully write onto each flag the name of someone lost in the pandemic, along with a dedication submitted on a website by loved ones.
Died from COVID-19 on December 28th.
Loving mother, grandmother, sister, aunt, friend.
Your siblings miss you very much. You were the best aunt.
But you provided enough love to last until we meet again.
When I planned this art, I bought 630,000 flags, and I bought those just in June. That's how much this has changed. A week ago, I ordered another 60,000 flags.
It's an art installation that Suzanne says continues to grow, with more flags added by the day to the more than 660,000 now planted here.
More than just a number, never forgotten. That really gets to the heart of why I created this in the first place. You know, people aren't just numbers.
For those who can't visit in person, a website allows people to look up a name and find the exact location of where a flag is planted. It's a way of creating permanence to a temporary exhibit that will wrap up on October 3rd.
There is no place for people to go to mourn. And as well, there's no place that really accumulates or aggregates our total loss. And so this, being on the National Mall, marks that. It gives us that place.
At least for now. In Washington, I'm Maya Rodriguez.
Now, Maya tells us in addition to being able to see and interact with the exhibit online, there are also lesson plans developed by educators to help teachers bring the exhibit into classrooms. For more information or to make a dedication to a loved one lost to COVID-19, you can visit inamericaflags.org. Well, there's a major recall, government telling parents to immediately stop using a popular baby lounger after it was linked to several infants dying. CBS's Dina Demetrius picks up that story.
The newborn lounger.
The Boppy company sold more than 3 million of these lounger pillows.
Having this propped up support allows for us to have really fun awake time together.
But now the products are under a recall after being linked to at least 8 infant deaths starting in 2015. A separate incident reported on saferproducts.gov this year claims a 2-month-old infant placed in a Boppy lounger was found after a couple of hours to have rolled over and was face down in the pillow and had suffocated. In a statement, Boppy says, "We are devastated to hear of these tragedies and that the lounger was not marketed as an infant sleep product and includes warnings against unsupervised use."
The problem is that it is a very tempting item for babies to sleep on and for parents to let their babies sleep on.
Rachel Rabkin-Peachman with Consumer Reports says it's not just Boppy. Last year, the Consumer Product Safety Commission warned parents infants should not sleep on any pillow-type products.
The best and safest way for babies to sleep, according to the American Academy of Pediatrics, is alone on their back in a firm, flat surface that's free of any soft petting or restraints.
Parents who bought one of the loungers can go to Boppy's website to process a refund. Dina Demetrius, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Now, the recall involves the Boppy Original Newborn Lounger, the Boppy Preferred Newborn Lounger, and the Pottery Barn Kids Newborn Boppy Lounger. The products have been sold since January of 2004. Time for a quick break here on Montana This Morning. When we come back, do you take or own reusable bags to the grocery? Many retailers in the U.S. seem to be just catching on to that concept. How the idea is going more mainstream, coming up. But first, let's check in with our friend Nate Burleson.
Good morning. Ahead on CBS Mornings, breaking overnight, the CDC opens the way for millions of Americans to get booster shots. Who's eligible, and can high-risk people mix and match their shots? Also see how a shortage of tiny chips is devastating the U.S. auto industry and upending people's lives. And Reese Witherspoon talks about the new season of her hit series, The Morning Show, and the nearly $1 billion sale of her media company. We'll see you at 7.